Hey Golden Valley, Mr. March here. Miss Ronigan, Miss Beeling and I got together and decided it would be a good idea for us to communicate to you how we're going to bring the arts program during this challenging time of distance learning. For those of you who don't know me, I'm originally from the Bay Area and been in Sacramento since 2000. I started music, my musical journey as a child, like many of you did, singing in choirs and playing piano at the behest of my parents. But I really got serious when I went to school at San Francisco State and studied music and graduated from there. And then for the next 2 decades, I really found myself as a songwriter playing in bands in Northern California and in the Southwest. My first experience with Waldorf education was as a first-year music teacher under Debbie Lenny at the River School. It was there she had me take a class called Waldorf in the Public Schools, where it was my first experience really diving into Steiner's philosophy and the Waldorf philosophy of education. And I really connected with the holistic approach, the focus on the arts, and also the concept of head, heart, and hands, or as Miss Beeling likes to say, hands, heart, and head. And it's this approach that is also shared by Carl Orff. Carl Orff, if you don't know who he is a central figure in music education. I started studying the Orff method a few years ago and was about to complete the 3-year program this summer, but it was canceled due to the COVID virus. Hopefully I'll be able to continue next summer. But anyway, like Rudolf Steiner, Orff believed that the first thing you have to do is sing and play. And in the singing and the playing, that's when you have the physical, the heartfelt experience around music. And only as the child gets older do we enter into music on the paper, composition, reading, and things like that. While all of us, students, teachers, and parents alike, would like to be at school physically, I am ready to work with the teachers at the Orchard and River campuses to try and bridge this distance learning gap with heart and hands. Many of the lessons that your children are going to be receiving are similar to those that they'll be receiving when they return to school. We'll continue to practice our recorders, we'll continue to practice our flutes, we'll continue to study songs that relate to the blocks that they're in. And as they move up through the grades, we'll continue to explore composition, improvisation, and music literacy. Most of you have already answered this question for yourself, and it's one of the reasons why you chose Golden Valley for your children. But why? Why are the arts so central to the holistic education of a child? And for me, it comes down to 4 things. The first thing is developing a creative thinking capacity, and that's just what the arts do. In studying art, music, and the practical arts, children have to think in new ways. They have to move in new ways. And it's those kind of skills that are going to be so useful as they meet the new world that we're living in. Quite obviously, music also develops listening skills. And you can't make beautiful music if you're not listening to the music you make and the music that's being made around you. Another reason why I think arts in school are so important is a very personal one for me. I know growing up, I wasn't immediately successful in traditional academics of science, math, and language arts. But music, and the arts in particular, provided me an avenue to achieve and to feel confidence. And that transferred into the other disciplines eventually. So it's one more way that kids can connect with school that in its absence might leave them unconnected. Finally, in the world we are in today, where all the messaging seems to be about suffering and sickness and injustice, art, music, cultural arts, practical arts, they're a reflection of what's good about us and what's good about the world we live in. And so their presence breathes a little bit of hope, a little bit of beauty into the day. I thought I'd leave you with a simple song that I bring in 4th grade called Music, Sweet Music. It's around, so sing along. Oh, come now, sweet music, your praises we sing. We tell of your pleasures, your joys that you bring. We tell